Pool snails, zebra mussels, and Asian clams are just a few invasive species that inhabit our waterways today.
As we speak, invasive species are slowly spreading and causing damage to our economy, native species, and waterways.
Due to lack of care and false judgment, there are over 100 non-native invasive species living in our waterways today.
Invasive species establish populations in new areas, wreaking havoc on native species and the economy.
California alone acquires around 6 invasive non-native species annually.
Invasive species spread and compete with other native species.
As they spread, they take a significant amount of biomatter from the food chain in the area.
This can ultimately lead to a decline in native species and the chance to spread.
Basically, it's what they are, is a filter feeder. They filter all the minute food that's in the water, and then the plankton can't eat, and the shad actually eat the plankton, and the bigger fish, it just runs the whole. No, only hot water kills them, and obviously sunlight being out, drying them out. But how are you going to do that in a lake? If the lake gets low, and we could scrape it off the, like if we pull boats out, we can scrape it off the boats. Just basic maintenance. Lake is what they do. I mean, they just run it. I mean, and then they clog all the pipelines coming off the Colorado River into California. They get all stuck. Like one quagga mussel produces like millions.
Quagga mussels make their homes on boats, docks, and also aqueducts, which clogs up the pipelines. Taxpayers' money goes into the removal and maintenance of quagga mussels.
And the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Since comment period opened, which was April 24th of this year, landowners, states, counties, and groups representing a diverse range of both economic and environmental stakeholders from across the country have filed more than 250,000 comments on a role that threatens both our economy and the ability of states to effectively manage water quality. Through a strong state-federal regulatory partnership that provides adequate flexibility to address water quality while accounting for local and regional variations and conditions,
These problems often go largely unnoticed because there are no large groups directly affected by this. However, constant maintenance in infected waterways eventually take from the tax budgets. To prevent the spread of many of these species, state-hired officials are usually bestowed with the burden. The National Invasive Species Act was created and sponsored by the U.S. House of Representatives by Steve Lorette on September 28, 1996.
One of the main laws in the act required boaters to empty one's ballast water upon removing the vessel from the body of water. This is exactly how quagga mussels were introduced and spread through the waterways in California. Quagga mussels were originally native to Ukraine and Russia. They were first discovered in the Great Lakes in 1988.
Through careless behavior, these mollusks were able to spread into the waterways across the United States all the way to Lake Miramar. Mollusks, especially quagga mussels, have an expensive habit of attaching to any smooth surface with enough light and oxygen. This can be very bad and expensive for boats left in the water. This is expensive because now everything in the water requires maintenance and cleanage, which ultimately eats away at the tax dollars. Quagga mussels feed on microscopic aquatic life and deplete food supplies for other native life. Adult mussels build up in layers and breed to form new generations. In San Diego County, by far the most invasive species is the quagga mussel/zebra mussel, both who make their homes in every single lake and reservoir in San Diego.
21. Overall, this law affects local citizens indirectly by preventing the spread of damaging invasive species. Ultimately, if we all work together, we can stop the spread of damaging invasive species.